There was this era of gaming in the late 2000s and early 2010s of these adorable, cutesy, girly-pop MMORPGs that were adored. They raked in so much money and serviced thousands of players. I've had so many conversations with people on the internet, in real life. Oh, you played Fly for Fun. Oh, you played MapleStory. Oh, you played Ragnarok Online. And when you look at all these conversations, you come to realize that there is a broken community of gamers who all had these experiences in this micro genre of digital worlds that no one talks about. What's so crazy about this is I noticed so many Y2K nostalgia aesthetics cropping up on the internet, and I feel like if these little bubbles on the internet, especially those that really appreciate the kitschy and fun way that technology was viewed during this era, if they knew about this little slice of video game history, they might come to appreciate it and lift a lot of inspiration from it. I mean, I selfishly would like to see this stuff become more popular in the zeitgeist when we're thinking about nostalgia. A lot of my inspirations in terms of makeup and the way that I dress, the way that I express myself, and the things that I consume are all derivative from these experiences from this genre of MMORPG. While I was trying to write a video about this genre and how much it means to me, I wanted to focus on games that I knew, games that were popular at the time. One of those games was Trickster Online. It wasn't as huge as MapleStory, but it was still pretty big. And in an effort to find just cursory information on the mechanics of the game, I realized that most of the information that you can get these days in 2024 is through translated mirrors of wikis, halfway captured Wayback Machine captures, Spriter's resource, sound resource. They only have parts of the assets documented. This game's history is pretty much in ruins. But I have done some digging, so this is my attempt to tell you about Trickster Online. Trickster Online is a great example of how these digital worlds are being lost to time. The most telling information that I could find initially was from a mirror of a wiki site called GG for the Win, FTW. I know that there are people watching right now that don't know what that is, but back in the day we used to say FTW as in for the win. It's kind of like a hype phrase almost. Basically, I had to translate this site, but after translating it, it does categorize a lot of the mechanics of the game, the jobs of the game, the classes, and it really helped to spark a lot of my research. Trickster Online has a lot of typical MMORPG features, but it also has a lot of stuff that makes it stand out even to this day. The job system I remember vividly was the most attractive to me. In fact, most of these games had to sell you on the job system first. I mean, why would you ever want to sign up, download? Because back in the day when you had to download an MMORPG, it took a long time. If there aren't any jobs or classes or combat styles that really resonated with me stylistically and mechanically, I am not logging in, I am not downloading that.
Game.
I'm not watching that.
Trickster Online has the most charming art style. It's very 2000s like Chobits type of anime style. You can see what I'm talking about when you look at the art. There were 4 different animals that each represented a different style of combat that you could choose from. There was the Power, which had melee. There was the Sense, which is more like a range type. And then there was Magic, which was the magic caster. So there was a difference. There was like bows and guns, and then you had the casters. And then you also had Charm, which was a very interesting take on the Paladin tanking mechanic. Each typing had 2 different animals. For the Power type, for example, you had the buffalo and you had the bunny. But what was really cool was when you pick that animal, you have to also commit to its entire class tree. Fun side note, there was a 3rd Power type user that never hit the West. It was a bear. To add an extra layer of uniqueness, the Charm users, like I said, were like the Paladin, the tank. Normally in RPGs, you still had Paladins wearing like plate armor, being like tough and brawny. But the fun thing about the Charm users in Trickster was that you had a choice of being a teacher or a model. The teacher could turn into a duke or a gambler, and the model can turn into a diva or a prima donna. I just love the idea of turning this on its head. I mean, why not? Also, Sense users had a passive sort of buff. It wasn't explicitly a buff, but their stats made them more keen for drilling. So let's talk about drilling. Probably the main main thing that Trickster was known for was the drilling system, because people, veterans or new players, would all congregate en masse during events to do these crazy AFK drilling sequences. I can best describe drilling as sort of like a fishing mini game. You know how in Stardew Valley or in a Final Fantasy game, you can go fishing and you have to like tap a button or wait for something to hit a certain threshold to be able to catch a fish? That's basically how drilling was, but they added more layers of complexity because MMORPGs always need to be extremely confusing. So two interesting things that they added to drilling over time was this thing called stress drilling. You essentially had to unlock it by doing a quest that requires you to do drilling in 3 different spots for very rare items, and then you would get a card that would unlock the skill for stress drilling, which would make you drill faster. There was also love drilling for people who were married in the game. Yes, marriage was a huge thing in this era of video games. You can still see remnants of it in other Eastern Asian MMORPGs. Right off the top of my head, I think about Final Fantasy XIV. But essentially, especially during events, players would come together and do AFK drilling because they wanted the cards that dropped from them and the items that dropped from them. Cards gave players access to certain skills that they wouldn't be able to get without the card, and many of the items that you needed to complete very important quests were gated behind drilling. So if you never drilled in the game, at a certain point, you would just stop progressing. Trickster Online had a lot of features that were also typical for this type of MMORPGs. They had, you know, an egregiously aggressive upgrading system. They had pets that you can get from the cash shop or from an event from grinding for like weeks on end that had the ability to do things like auto drill or pick things up, you know, convenience things. And they also had a gacha system. Yes, Gachapon has been in video games as far as I can recall since the 2000s. I will say that modern gacha is way more forgiving and way more enjoyable. The pay-to-win Gachapon in this Korean MMO era was almost criminal, but this is a great opportunity to segue into the cosmetics, because the cosmetics are what made these games so vivid in my memory. Welcome to the guide on how to get strong and pretty items in Trickster Online, the dead game you'll never log into. The first thing that is important to understand is Gachapon. It's a fundamental mechanic of the game, and since its incorporation in 2007, the systems have only grown. Gachapon in Trickster Online is handled through towns. During announced periods of time, gacha towns will allow you to drill for rare items. The only stipulation is you need gacha coins to drill. Thankfully, everyone is given 1 free gacha coin to participate. Yay! Don't worry, you can get more gacha coins from the cash shop. Try the 23 gacha coins for only $20. That's 23 spins on the metaphorical slot machine. Exciting! By the way, I only know this because Entrieve's conversion rate was 1,000 points for $1. If you are really into Gachapon and have the money to spare, try out the Flicker Drill. The Flicker Drill will always ensure you obtain rare items, but they cost 2 gacha coins per single drill session. And if an especially spicy event is running with special gacha towns, that could cost up to 3 coins or even more. But if you're using the Flicker Drill, you're probably here for the rush of emptying your wallet anyway. Rare item this, rare item that. Why do I need rare items anyway? I'm just participating in the event because I want clothes and cute accessories for my character. Treasure chests are a rare item and the only things that will help you obtain the other rare item. You need an entire collection of specific rare items in each event to get the 4G card. 4G cards are a special currency used in specific NPC shops to buy sets of items during that period of time. Those clothes and accessories you wanted, they're in the 4G card shop. And after the event, they may never come back. Look, I'm going to be real with you. A lot of these systems are convoluted and became convoluted as time went on. For example, some of these boxes seem to even start dropping their own fashion sets, so not only are the players aiming to get the limited run set from that NPC, but along the way they're hoping to get limited run items from those boxes that they're farming for the 4G card. So with all of this in mind, players are going to need a lot of boxes in a small window of time to get these items that they want, and the only way that they can ensure that they can continue to grind and grind and grind is to spend $1 per drill session. To help contextualize, I found this channel called Trickster Online that captured themselves in the heat of one of these events. Editor me here, I want you to know that this guy is going to sound freshly gardened, and I'm fully aware of that. I just wanted to share this clip because it shows a really good example of what the game looked, felt, and sounded like in the middle of one of these big events. And also, isn't it just so charming that people leave things on the internet for you to watch? Like, this is like a 7-year-old video with less than 500 views. I think it's cute.
Yeah, okay, so let's just open the rest. Okay, yeah, I got one. Oh, dude, I don't think I'm gonna make. Okay, wait. All right, I got two super. Dude, I think I'm gonna lose money on this one. And what is also cool from opening these boxes is that you get a lot of fashion. For example, look at this. I have a full second job fashion set. Which is pretty cool. As I was doing this research, I discovered that some of these boxes eventually started to drop furniture. Apparently, there was an entire housing system called My Camp that was added in 2012. I found this cute channel called MUCA, which is a perfect time capsule of this era with MapleStory MMVs and footage of another even more obscure game, Spirit Tales, Sims 2 footage. Anyway, they uploaded high quality footage of what their house looked like. You could expand and decorate a lot, it seems, and I can only imagine how expensive these houses became considering furniture was also tied to these Gachapon events. Instead of delving into even more specifics, let's go window shopping. I think as I show you some cute things that I found, I will explain how players could obtain them. The first set that piqued my interest was the Rose Fairy set. I thought that it was just gorgeous, pastel pink, so soft and cute. I also love that the body piece looked like Madoka Magica. It was very Sailor Moon, so there's a lot to draw from this page though. Thankfully, the Rose Fairy set is actually accessible. As you can see, the attack power of the Rose Fairy leotard has a minimum and maximum range, so players are obviously going to go for the maximum ranges or as close to that as possible. But the Rose Fairy set comes with a hat, a sword, a shield, an accessory, an inner piece, which is just the body piece, a pet, a doll, a wallpaper, and a door. Now this came out in 2011, so now I'm unsure as to when My Camp actually came out. It seems as though each town had an NPC that specifically spawned there to sell a set based off of them. So the Rose Fairy is actually a monster in the game, and as I'm saying this and recording this, I'm realizing I didn't even touch on how cute the monsters are, but we've already crossed this bridge. If you guys want me to talk about the monsters, I definitely can. But in Town 4 of Azteca in November of 2012, according to this wiki, a lot of these wikis have been modified for certain private servers as well, so sometimes the information can be off. But essentially what happens is little Cleta actually spawns here as an NPC that you can spend those cards on to get her full set of equipment. She's specifically selling a spear and a shield, so characters who don't need a spear and a shield probably won't want the full set. But she does have that cool arm warmer, so I do know a lot of people will be trying to get that arm warmer for sure. Another set that you can learn from is the Karu set. I thought that this was kind of gimmicky and cute. Obviously it's a little bit gaudy, but I love the color of blue, and I love that it looks like you're using Fisher-Price toys and set pieces and props almost. But the quest line, from what I can glean, is you are doing a lot of fetch quests. You're drilling for things sometimes, you're attacking monsters sometimes you're waiting for that monster to drop something to give to an NPC, but you're building up and doing these weekly quests with these NPCs to eventually get a ticket to get the Karu hat, shield, stick, and gun. So obviously, not all cosmetics are going to be in boxes or Gachapon, but they will be behind weekly limited events. So there is a sense of urgency because they will never come back. And obviously the use of cash shop convenience will help players to finish these events faster and more efficiently. And last but not least, let's talk about the pets. I know that I've touched on them before, but pets were vital for the player experience because pets provided a lot of convenience. When you're doing grinding things and you're clicking the same buttons over and over again, sometimes having a pet going and picking up an item when you're farming monsters or automatically drilling for you to get items is very convenient. Pets have different level ranges, so players who are a very, very high level
who need high level pets will sometimes not go for pets that are lower levels, even if they are more cute. Thankfully, Trickster Online understood that they need to have cute pets at all levels because it's just going to help them make more money. So I found that a lot of events and Gachapon events will give you a pet according to your level, all of them being the same, just higher or lower levels depending on what your character needs. And I have a soft spot for pets because in my research, I was able to find a lot of very cute GIFs for pets. I think that their animations look so lush and of quality, and I think that the style of this game has aged so well, and you can see it in a lot of the unique and diverse pet designs. If you weren't there to experience these games, based off of what I'm telling you, you might be wondering why they died out so much. Well, there's a lot of aspects that contributed to that, but the main one is the fact that many of these games, if not all of them, were extremely pay to win. I even found this one very bittersweet series from a player who was attempting to document the final days of their server of Trickster Online.
Hello and welcome back to the memory of Trickster Online, day 20. Today I am going to show you my shop. On this thingy, we can go into my shop. So this is my shop. In my opinion, what had destroyed the game. Paying to win is never a good idea in the first place. But I don't think they will make a lot of money if that wasn't the reason. So all of these are empty. I am so wrong about not showing this before, because now I cannot even show anything.
As was tradition with a lot of these games, they shut down the cash shop to stop people from purchasing things before the server actually shut down. That is what this person is talking about.
The years. Oh, it stopped at 2011. I've started reloading since 2009 or 8, I think. And what a load of crap. All of those have gone to waste, and this is very depressing. But let's just forget about my shop, because that is not what this game is all about. This game is about the people that we met. I mean, if we haven't played this game, then I think I can't find those incredible people that I have met throughout the years. So maybe my shop did something that we won't regret after all those years. So yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I know I have a lot of my TikTok people, my Twitch people, and my Discord people coming to support these videos, but as you know, I'm really trying to find my pocket as a creator on YouTube. I really want to take my time to make videos that I'm passionate about, that I'm also proud of, so I appreciate your patience and I appreciate your support. I will see you next time with probably something totally obscure that is way out of left field, just like how this video was. I might come back next time deep diving into Pokemon character analysis. I might talk about something that has nothing to do with video games. Who knows? All I do know is if you made it this far in the video, you have to subscribe. You have to, or at least like it. You know, like you can at least like it and leave like a pretty fun prompt for us to talk about in the comments. Maybe, possibly. I will see you next time regardless. Bye.